ragged and weary from their travels, the company emerged from the hidden pass to find themselves near Rivendell, the last homely house east of the sea. There, they sought counsel from Lord Elrond, one of the few elves who could reveal the secrets of the map they carried.
Gandalf!
Lord Elrond.
Strange for orcs to come so close to our borders. Something, or someone, has drawn them near.
That may have been us.
Welcome, Thorin, son of Thrain.
I do not believe we have met.
And what were you doing on the Great East Road?
Zuranimid.
Sonargis Obaxin.
Our business is no concern of elves.
For goodness sake, Thorin, show him the map.
Erebor. Kirth Ithil.
Moon runes.
Can you read them?
Stand by the grey stone when the thrush knocks, and the setting sun, with the last light of Durin's day, will shine upon the keyhole.
We have to be standing in exactly the right spot at exactly the right time. Then, and only then, can the door be opened.
There are some who would not deem it wise.
Tell me, Gandalf, did you think these plans and schemes of yours would go unnoticed?
The dragon has long been on your mind.
There is something at work beyond the evil of Smaug.
Morgul blade.
They speak of a necromancer living in Dol Guldur, a sorcerer who can summon the dead.
Gandalf, Sauron is vanquished. No such power exists in this world. The question of this dwarvish company, however, troubles me deeply.
My Lord Elrond, the dwarves, they've gone.
Undeterred by the advice of the elves and the White Council, the dwarves continued their journey to the lonely mountain. Their travels took them over the high pass, where the weather took a turn for the worse.
LEGO The Hobbit walkthrough. Whoops, my speakers are on again. And this is going to be Overhill and Underhill. I think this is the 6th level. And this one has 2 major parts to it, but it's kind of a doozy because I don't have any other better word. And that's just because this first part is pretty lengthy with some pretty good puzzles to it, but they're not that difficult. This first puzzle is just trying to jump up on top of the dwarf with what do they have? The staves, and you're going to need to use all 3 of them this time. And you're going to need to jump up here to crank the mechanism, but as you can see, you need a handle, so you're going to have to go back down onto the floor and grab that. Now, the reason I say this level is a little bit different compared to the other ones is because for pretty much the first time you are dealing with all 13 dwarves, and that can get annoying because you're going to have to switch between the groups as the level goes on, and you'll see that as the video goes on. It can be a little bit... it messes with your mind a little, and the transition is so strange. They should have used a different transition because that just messes up your orientation completely. At least it does for me. So to get the handle, it's over there to the right, and as you notice, I don't think there's an arrow dwarf here because they either have a hammer or this guy who has, I think he's got 2 swords or something, and then the other guys have stabs. Anyway, you're going to need to move down this box, and this is when you're going to have to change to the other group for the first time pretty much. So if you whack that question mark block, you can see that my walkthrough is completely redundant because it tells you exactly what I'm going to tell you, and that's if you push and hold Y and go down onto the wheel, you can switch groups by opening up all your characters. So here's the second group of dwarves. Do not fall off the edge right there because that is not really something that's good for your health. Instead, what you're going to want to do is work your way over to the right, but if you want to, grab this mini-kit first. And there's a jump there because I got lost for a little bit, but as you can tell, you're going to need to use the chain here. And another useful thing with the Y button is that if you push and hold it, you can open up your backpack if you go kind of to the bottom right circle, and you can see the items that the dwarf has. And I had to do that to find this dwarf with the chain because for some reason he had like his axe or something out, so I couldn't actually figure out which dwarf it was that had the chain, and I can't remember his name right now. So if you do get lost in that way, meaning that you can't find the guy who has the item that you need, just change to them one by one and try to look through the backpacks, and you should be able to find the item pretty easily that way. So that transition you saw there is what kind of disorientated me when I was playing this game, and watching it in the preview screen of my Adobe editing software, it's not as bad as it was playing it on the TV. And I'm wondering if that's because my TV is so much bigger than the preview screen in Adobe. But it was a lot worse when I was playing it, and it freaked me out because I didn't know, like, was I actually changing groups or was I staying the same group? It's just such a weird transition. This first time you're gonna learn how to do a ground pound, and I don't know why a tooltip couldn't have come up and just said to ground pound, jump and then push X. Instead it has you jump here and then push X, and it took me a couple of tries to realize that that's what it was trying to tell me. You're also going to see a bunch of crystal and diamond deposits and diamond rocks that are here. Don't skip them. I skip past these, but I end up going back and getting them because you're going to need them later on. And I sped up that part so you don't have to watch me walking to the beginning of the level almost, but pick those up now and you won't need to come back for them later. So as far as this level goes, for how much I liked it, I thought it was actually one of the better levels that I played, even though it was kinda lengthy, but I've been saying that for most of them. For this one, I think the problem might have been I just had been playing this LEGO game for like 5 hours that day, and then at the end of it, at the end of the day, my save file gets corrupted, so for some strange reason, this level stuck in my mind, and because of that, I kind of have mixed feelings about it, because I really like how it looks, but at the same time I hate it, and I'm not sure why. I don't know, maybe I'll figure it out when I actually beat this game, but anyway, just to switch on over to the bottom group so you can buddy up with these dwarves, and then you can smash the wall open and climb on up to this platform here. Now, I don't think the dwarves on the bottom actually get the mineral deposits or the crystal rocks. I don't think they can actually break those open because nobody has a hammer. So down here you can ignore them, but you are going to want to, at least I think, is this the bottom group? Whatever group this is. This must be the top one, because I don't think there are any crystals on the bottom one. I don't know, see, this is what I mean about the transition. I get confused, and I can't remember which dwarf is on. Oh wait, no, that was the bottom group. Okay, so yeah, don't worry about the crystals on the bottom group. Now, when I said, I think in the first video of my walkthrough, I said this game is definitely a co-op game, and this level proves that, because if you were playing this on co-op, I'm assuming you would both, like, the screen would split, and one of you would be on top and the other one would be on the bottom, and it would be a lot easier to get through this level, because you can do everything all at once instead of having to switch back and forth in single player, and especially having to bounce back and forth between all these dwarves really shows that this game would probably be a lot more fun if you could play it with somebody else. Sadly, I can't, because I'm a lonely, lonely man, and I'm just not gonna talk about that anymore. Anyway, so for the other thing that it bugs me how the teammates, how the other dwarves, they sometimes don't follow you. So you saw maybe a couple of seconds ago there, I switched to another dwarf so I could finish the pole stacking, and he was all the way like halfway to the beginning of the level, just sitting there doing nothing, not following me, and I don't know why it's so hard for these dwarves to follow you. I mean, in the other LEGO games they did a pretty good job, well, the other characters did, but for this one it just seems the dwarves really hate walking. I don't really know what it is about this game, but oh well. So, as you might have been able to see, I didn't have the crystals or the diamonds that I needed, so here I am speeding up this part. It may sound a little bit funny, and going around to pick them up. As always, when you're trying to smash these rocks, if you can, it would be best if you got the arrow right in the middle, because then you smash the rock right away and you don't have to go through it 3 times. If you miss it though, at least try to keep the arrow within those 2 indicators, because if you don't, I don't think you get a crystal, and then you have to wait for the rocks to respawn, and it's just kind of annoying. But you will eventually get them all, then you can build the object, and I'm considering speeding these up. But maybe I shouldn't. I don't know, maybe people like watching this enough that I'll leave it alone. I just think that it's... Okay, this part's actually really cool. I wish I had those LEGO crystals. Of all the LEGO sets that I have and LEGOs that I have lying around my house, I don't have any crystals. Or if I do, they're from the Harry Potter set back in like 2003. Or whenever the heck that came out. And they're long lost by now. I know that those Harry Potter sets had some pretty cool pieces. Man, now I want to get a new LEGO set.
This is no thunderstorm! It's a thunder battle! Giants! Storm giants!
thought I was only going to narrate that first part, but I guess I started rambling on a lot more. Well, this second part, which I am actually not going to narrate for too much longer because it's really straightforward and it's a lot of fun hopping on this.
Where's the Hobbit?
You must find shelter!